My name is Brian Murphy, and I'm the artistic director of Wayne Center of the Arts in Worcester, Ohio. And there's a company called Wayne Center Ballet. And the Wayne Center Ballet consists of dancers between 8 years old to 18. Well, today we have a very, very special project called the New Works Project. The mission of this project is to bring creative works to our dancers. And part of it is I hoped, and we're going to hear right now, is that I hope that the choreographers had felt that same sort of sense of, we want to create too. There was two parameters. One is it had to be between 2 to 3 minutes long, and they had 2 hours to do it. After that, that was it. So without further ado, I would like to introduce each of our choreographers today. The first choreographer is Holley Johnson. Hi, Holley.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Good.
Excellent. So why don't you talk to us about your piece that you're going to be doing, and what kind of music you used, why you chose that music, and what is it about in the process?
Sure. So I choreographed to the Spring Concerto, Allegro Spring Concerto from Vivaldi. And I chose that music and mostly because it was joyful. I felt like that's something we need right now. Also, I was choreographing for 9 to 12-year-olds, and Vivaldi, especially that concerto, is simple to hear. It's simple to hear the rhythm and to count, and that's important for your 9 to 12-year-olds because they've learned a lot of the ballet steps, but then they can bring them all together and they're starting to put them in sequence. And so that's really why I chose that music, just because it's beautiful, it's simple, it's how I move. And I think how a lot of young ballet dancers will also be able to move.
It's a great piece, and it's very challenging for him. Thank you very much, Holley, for being part of this project. Really appreciate it. So now we go to the next one. Thank you, Holley. Is Sara. Hi, Sara. How you doing?
Brian.
So why don't you introduce yourself also and talk about your piece, why you chose your music, and the process.
Certainly. Well, I had a unique experience for this New Works because I work with the Dancing Wheels company, and in a partnership here, we were able to have me as a repetitioner to set an excerpt of a piece that is in the Dancing Wheels rep on the student company of the Wayne Center Ballet. So the piece was choreographed by David Roussev in 2005 on the Dancing Wheels company, and at the time, the Cleveland Contemporary Dance Theater, which no longer is around. And the piece in its entirety parallels the Civil Rights Acts and the Disabilities Rights Acts throughout. And we felt, Brian and I, when we were discussing what kind of rep to set with the students, that being that it's a time where social justice is really being brought to light right now, that we wanted to offer the students this to have a way of using movement and text to explore humanity and equality. And the music for this dance is spoken text and a piece of music that was made into or composed by the choreographer as well, with his voice recorded saying a text that he had come up with to a house beat or a house music behind it. The movement itself is very grounded and modern-esque, and I think the students really enjoyed having a different way of moving to challenge them and have a different experience for their performance.
And they really have experienced it. I really do appreciate it. I love the depth of it, So thank you very much, Sara, for sharing that. Thank you very,
Thank you. Yeah.
Excellent. Carolyn, how you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Good. There you go. So why don't you talk about your piece and talk about why you chose your music and the process for you.
Sure. So I live in Hawaii. I own a ballet school in Hawaii on the island of Oahu. And I've known Brian for many years now and have had the opportunity to dance with him over the years. And we've choreographed together, we've taught together. And it's been really wonderful to share my beautiful island home with Brian. We've had a really awesome friendship and I've very much enjoyed it over the years. And I wanted to bring an element of that into this piece. The island is so beautiful. It's very unique. It's not like anything else in the world, really. And I wanted to share a little bit of that joy with your students over there. So I was looking for a piece of music that represented island culture without actually being a Hawaiian piece of music. So I was able to find a really wonderful version of Israel Kamakawiwole's cover of Wonderful World. And it's this beautiful classical cover of this piece of music that I think when you hear it, you can feel that soul of Hawaii without it really sounding necessarily like it's a Hawaiian piece of music. From that, I wanted to then express just the joy of being back in the studio. I know that we've all been on and off of Zoom for months. We've been dancing in living rooms. I've been teaching in living rooms. And so to celebrate the fact that we are able to dance in a studio with each other. So I wanted to create a dance that has movement and pathways and to celebrate the fact that we can use space, we can travel, we can have floor paths, we can have pathways. So celebrating the joy of movement and also.
Now you did this on, tell the process now, the process of choreographing it. The process.
Well, I did choreograph it in my living room at home, but then I was able to teach it in the studio. And we had a wonderful collaboration, Mr. Brian and I, where I was able to teach over Zoom the phrases that I wanted and give certain highlights that I was looking for. At this moment, this is what I want. And then Brian was able to take that idea and then space it into real space and time in the studio. And we actually got quite a bit done. We almost finished that whole piece over Zoom in just that 1-2 hour class. And just that very last little bit, I was then able to record myself dancing in the studio for those final, how the final phrases are going to come together.
Yes.
But yeah,
and
it was just
a true collaboration. It was a true collaboration.
It was. We can add it to our list of things we've collaborated over the years. I
totally agree. Well, it's been, and I'm watching the dancers all grow with that piece has been nice. So I thank you very much, Carolyn, for sharing. I really mean it. So, all right, Lieneke, how you doing over there?
I'm great.
There you are. So, what did you
it's a lot closer than I realized.
So, why don't you talk about your piece, talk about your music, and talk about your process too.
Sure. So the music that I used was by Luca de Alberto, and it's called Wait For Me. And it's sort of just one of these pieces of music that I keep a collection of songs that I hope to choreograph to at some point. And for some reason that one spoke to me. And my piece is about sort of a phoenix rising from ashes. I feel like right now there's so much despair and hopelessness, and I wanted to create something like hope that emerges from these darker experiences. So I thought of like the image of a phoenix felt somewhat fitting for what's going on right now, and being able to utilize like bird-like movement or flowy kind of swooping movement. Yeah, that's just where I decided to go for this piece, and yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. I appreciate it. And the kids look great. So Thank you, Lieneke, very much. It's a very great piece. All these pieces have been great. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure like working with them and having the opportunity to create something. So yeah.
It's kind of fun. Good. Hi, Lauren. How you doing over there?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good.
Good. So why don't you talk about your piece and your process and why did you choose the music, all that thing.
Sure. So my piece is called, well, the music is called Are You Even Real? And it's by an artist named James Blake. And so as a choreographer, I really, and as a composer and a musician as well, the music that I use is so important. So I found this track, I was browsing Spotify and I heard it and I immediately thought, oh my gosh, I have to choreograph to this because, so there are vocals in it and there's also really interesting in the background, lots of counterpoint, there's orchestra, there's a beat in the background. And so I decided I have to choreograph this. And so the song the lyrics are very kind of haunting. And it just reminded me of the mental part of being isolated during these times and, questioning reality. What is reality? What's going on? Are these thoughts real? Like, I don't get to be around people. Am I going crazy? And I feel like the music, the way it swirls around and kind of really depicted those emotions, and it made me have a very strong emotional response. So that was why I chose the music. And so then I started to just improv around in my apartment. And so the basis of all of the movement in my piece is actually based off of a movement method called gyrokinesis. And so it's like movement of the spine. And I just thought, oh, the spinal movements, arch and curl, wave, and spiral just coincide so appropriately with the way this music sounded. So I just started kind of making up movement based off of movements of the spine. And it was really, really quite interesting what I came up with. So I started writing down little phrases and then experimented on the kids, and they responded to it very well, which was really awesome because, it's a really sophisticated way of moving. So just kind of sort of pieced it together like that. And so the lyrics and the music just really helped me to come up with choreography and some of it. So I just wanted the kids to kind of look inside themselves and think of how they were feeling during this time emotionally and bring it to the piece. So that was the underlying theme, but I really kind of gave them some freedom to do what they want. There's a couple parts where they get to improv and add their own little things. So just overall, I guess like a combination of applying like the emotions of the time we're going through, good or bad.
Well, thank you very much, Lauren, for being part of our faculty. You've been great for the kids. And thanks for sharing your piece too. I appreciate it. And I appreciate every one of you guys for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing really who you are. Because I know every one of you guys. I know when you guys are talking about, and not only that, just who you are, but what we're going through right now is it's a big deal for these kids, and to be part of a new experience like this, because we do Nutcracker, ballets, but it's a whole new experience. And I believe that the process is as important as the actual product, because this process, and not only that, but they're going to be showing on video, and that's a whole different experience in itself. So I think every one of you guys were part of that, and I can't thank you enough. So I thank you very, very much. And just let you guys all know that the show will be streaming by March 7th. So I'm hoping to get a edited version for you guys before that happens. But if not, we'll just shoot it to you on March 7th. So and once again, thank you very much, and thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching this, however you're watching this, and please come see us March 7th. It's gonna be on some sort of platform. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Bye.